I've often said as sports medicine physicians that the next best thing to being an elite athlete is to taking care of elite athletes. So the Centennial Games were held in Atlanta here in the United States, and I was a part of the medical staff that actually orchestrated the sport of boxing, that provided medical services for the athletes that were involved with the sport of boxing. Well, one of the true stars, of course, of the U.S. boxing team was somebody whose name they're very familiar with now is Floyd Mayweather. And he was a very young athlete at that time. My next opportunity to become involved in the Olympic Games was in 2004. And I was asked to serve as the national team physician for the sport of pentathlon. I put my hands to work quite a bit while working on them physically because of the demands of their sport being so rigorous and arduous. That 2004 Games was in the birthplace of the Olympics in Athens. And again, I just felt, how am I so lucky to be able to go to the actual birthplace of the Olympic Games? At the same time that I was there in Athens, again, our USA basketball team was competing there. And Tim Duncan, our own San Antonio Spur, and I was his team physician by that point in time, was competing on the US Olympic basketball team. When I walked into the gym and he saw me, and he came over and he gave me a hug, and then he started asking me things related to his own health. So even though I was there with the pentathlon team, he was still asking me to take care of him as his team physician. So that was pretty cool. 2012 was a pretty amazing year for me because I was asked to be a national team physician for USA Track and Field. And then along comes an invitation a little bit later to be the national team physician in that same year for USA Basketball. I have to pinch myself. I have to pinch myself so often thinking, I grew up on Fresno Street here in San Antonio and went to Central Catholic and then to St. Mary's, and it wasn't until I finally figured out that I was going to go to medical school and I learned about sports medicine that I really just pursued this profession with such a passion. It's really neat to say that I've taken care of athletes competing at the highest level, but it's also pretty neat taking care of a 10-year-old gymnast or taking care of a 14-year-old soccer player. I couldn't have written a script any better. It's all by the grace of God and by Him planning my future for me that I've been able to enjoy all of this.